Hello, 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 beautiful people. It is me, Maritza, and I am jumping on to talk with you guys a little bit more about, basically give you an update. Today I saw I'm sorry, you guys, have to take down my laundry here. Today, I went to see my functional health doctor, and he explained to me that some of my labs had come back. About 2 weeks ago, I had to give more, I had to do two other tests. And what they showed was that my adrenal glands are not functioning properly. So I was telling him, he was asking me how I was feeling. I was like, well, it feels like, my energy is coming back a little bit. And that's good because, like that's telling him that things are working, right? But he was explaining to me that the reason why I am like feeling like so winded, like say when I'm going up the stairs, like sometimes when like the reason I can't like exercise, I am told I cannot absolutely exercise, not now. When my organs heal, they will, introduce that back to me, back into my system. But things like something like walking on a treadmill or walking like fast pace outside, like I can't do that. I can like clean up around the house, but of course I can't overexert myself. I have to like take that like bit by bit. So I'm probably gonna have to be taking frequent breaks with that. But yeah, basically, like I had told him, I said like when I'm climbing the steps, my body hurts so bad. Like my legs hurt so bad, and they start to burn. And he was like explaining to me that that was because of my adrenal glands, that they are not functioning properly. And the other thing he told me that he noticed is like, so they did like they took my blood pressure with me sitting and standing, and basically my the from a it's so interesting because as a nurse, like the things that we look for, it's just it's totally different, like how like you're taught from a medical standpoint. Okay, when something like this happens, I need you to do this, right? That it's just totally different, like how these particular doctors look at the numbers. So for me, my numbers, my blood pressure, my top number, which is your systolic number, and that is your heart when it is working, right? My heart when it's working from a standing in a sitting position, like when when the heart itself is like pumping, not resting, from a standing to sitting position. um I went from, oh gosh, I think I was like 120 something, and then I went like to like 107, something like that. It was like a large difference. And he explained to me, that because of what's going on with my body, like that's an indication to him that my adrenal glands aren't functioning well. So it's just a lot to take in, you guys. Yeah. We he like told me some things to do. I have to practice these deep breathing exercises. But of course, they're going to, once I get through my detox, there's going to be some changes made as well. So what I also found out today as well is the detox itself is also like a time period where they are preparing my body for the other things that they are going to do to help heal my body, and to, make the corrections that are needed so that I don't go through this again. yeah, so for now, the update is I'm still down like 10 pounds, and I did feel some swelling in my right leg, and that's the weird part. Like, so sometimes it's hard for me to, like, this is the most, y'all, that I have seen me lose weight in like the last 3 years. So sometimes it's hard for me because my body goes through like flare-ups. Now, what I can say is that my flare-ups have not felt as bad. And what I told him is that, my breathing doesn't feel as labored, and my breathing, and no, oh, and my palpitation, because I was getting really bad palpitations with my heart. That's like the main thing that had me like go in, because I was like, hold up, like, I'm on thyroid medication, and it's still like, and now my heart, I'm having palpitations. They put me on blood pressure medication, potassium. It's like they just kept adding medication, and I'm like, but nobody's getting to the root cause. So these people are doing that. I'm sorry, you guys. So for now, I'm trying to up my shakes because I've been able to keep one scoop down. And he made me feel a lot better about not being able to like take the whole 2 scoops of the shake and share it with me. That's like where he began sharing, like, okay, so this is like preparing your body for the other things that we're gonna do to help heal your body. So the detox is, the fact that you can get one down, I'm happy about that. And I'm going to start trying to do that twice a day. And then prayerfully in 2 or 3 days, I'm going to see if I can do it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Because you guys, like I said to him, like, I want the full benefits of this. So it is extremely frustrating for me that, I'm not able to keep 2 scoops down. But he told me about somebody who like was only able to keep this much of the first scoop down. So, I'm like, okay, but still, still. And he made me feel better about my challenge about climbing the steps. I hate to say it, but of course they don't tell you names of people or anything, because of confidentiality. But he just kind of was like, I'm sorry. Excuse me, guys. He was like, I've had people, I had a one woman who, her adrenal glands were so bad like that. It hurt so bad, like she stopped even trying to climb her stairs. And I guess she just lived downstairs in her house until she started feeling better. But so he was like, I'm like, well, it's not that bad, but I definitely have to like think about it. Whereas before I used to go up and down my steps, up and down my steps, up and down my steps, no problem. Now I'm like, okay, putting stuff towards the steps. I'm like, okay, because we're going to do this one time. And or maybe 2 or 3 in a day, but I'm not gonna be running up and down my steps, because it wins me. It takes a lot out of me. So yeah, let me just say this. For those of you guys who this is your first time on, my channel or hearing me speak, my name is Maritza George, and I am on this self-love journey. Initially, this started off as it was a 50 plus, 40 plus women, or whoever was, considered middle age, those of us women who, we did a lot for our families. We were maybe young moms, we were maybe single moms, or we just like grinded it out to the point that we didn't invest in ourselves the way that we should have. And this initially was supposed to be that time for me. It has now become that and me literally fighting to stay alive, because in the process of me taking on my self-love journey, like scheduling appointments and not ignoring things and not saying, "Ooh, I'll deal with that later." I discovered that what the doctors had been telling me was my thyroid. was not actually my thyroid. That was, it was my thyroid being bullied by my pituitary gland, which was sending all my organs into wonky land where they were in crisis and they had begun shutting down. So I am now in a place where I'm on a 21-day metabolic detox with some highly concentrated nutritional supplements and whatever else is in there that is getting the other stuff out of me, the toxins out of me, so that my organs can begin to heal. And today they told me it was also my adrenal glands, but initially it was my heart, my kidneys, my liver, um, my brain, because I was like forgetting stuff because I had so many toxins in my brain that I was like, my memory was starting to be like, um, and of course my pituitary gland, my thyroid, right? My pituitary gland. And then, now I'm finding out my adrenal glands. Today, every time I go, they share a different, lab with me, as to not overwhelm me, right? And we add more to it. Like for instance, a week ago they added vitamin D drops with vitamin K. I have to take 10 drops 2 times a day. So that was added on to already very rigorous, and I showed you guys in one of my other videos, amount of stuff that I have to take per day. And so I'm on this journey, and I am fighting because I'm only 50 years old. I'll be 51 in the beginning of September, and I want to live. I have children. I have a hubby. I have children. I have grandchildren, and I want to be here. I have parents. I have grandparents. I want to be here. Sisters, brothers, friends, family. I want to be here. And I have so much that God still has for me to do. So I am fighting. And the reason why I created this video was because I know that as women, we often put ourselves to the side. I can also say as Black women, statistically, we are severely underserved, and we are often underdiagnosed, and even in the area of pain, we are often under-medicated because of the perception of Black women being strong and they can deal with anything. And this is like statistically proven, you guys. So I decided that I wanted to do this because I know there are other people out there who may be struggling and trying to figure out what's going on with their bodies, and they may sound, what I'm saying may sound familiar to them, and they may be able to ask their doctors, because you get to ask your doctor what you get to ask your doctor. You can request things, and if they say no, you need to ask them to put it in writing for you why they are not going to allow you to have a particular test. Excuse me, you guys. But anywho, I'm getting off on another topic for another time. I just wanted to let you guys know what was going on my day 15. And I love you guys, and I thank you for listening. Have a blessed night, and don't forget to take care of yourself and tell your people you love them.